Germany has long been recognized as a global leader in industrial automation. Its prowess in robotics particularly has been central to its manufacturing dominance. German companies like KUKA AG, established in 1898, epitomized this leadership. KUKA, headquartered in Augsburg, became synonymous with cutting-edge robotics technology. Its robots were deployed in automotive factories, industrial assembly lines, and even Hollywood film sets, showcasing German engineering excellence. KUKA's success story was not unique. It reflected the broader strength of Germany's industrial ecosystem. This ecosystem thrived on a culture of innovation, a skilled workforce, and robust research institutions. However, the global environment was changing. A new player with vast resources and ambitious goals was emerging in the East, ready to challenge Germany's position. China, in the 21st century, embarked on an aggressive path of technological advancement. Recognizing the strategic importance of robotics in achieving its economic goals, the Chinese government poured resources into research and development. This drive was fueled by a desire to move up the value chain from a manufacturing giant to a global technology leader. Chinese companies, often with state backing, began investing heavily in robotics, both domestically and through acquisitions abroad. This rapid expansion of China's robotics sector was nothing short of remarkable. Western companies, used to dominating the market, now faced a formidable competitor with the financial power and the political will to reshape the industry. The stage was set for a clash of titans, as China's hunger for technological supremacy collided with Germany's long-held dominance in robotics. The acquisition of KUKA AG by Midea Group in 2016 would become a watershed moment in this global power shift. In 2016, the Chinese home appliances giant Midea Group made a bold move. They launched a takeover bid for KUKA AG, sending shockwaves through the German political and business establishment. Midea, known for its refrigerators and washing machines, was hardly a household name in the world of industrial robotics. Yet, here they were, aiming to acquire one of Germany's, and indeed the world's, most advanced robotics companies. The offer, valued at approximately $5 billion, represented a significant premium on KUKA's share price. This financial muscle, backed by the Chinese state, was hard for KUKA's shareholders to ignore. The bid sparked a fierce debate in Germany and beyond. Was this a purely commercial transaction, or did it represent something more significant, a sign of China's growing technological ambition and a potential threat to European competitiveness? Germany, with its liberal economic policies and belief in free trade, initially approached the Midea KUKA deal with a degree of openness. Foreign direct investment was seen as a positive force, driving innovation and economic growth. There was a sense, perhaps, that the Chinese company's interest in KUKA was a testament to German engineering prowess. However, as the details of the deal were scrutinized, concerns began to emerge. Some argued that KUKA's technology was too strategically important to be handed over to a Chinese company, particularly one with close ties to the Chinese government. The lack of a coordinated European Union-wide response further complicated matters. Unlike in the United States, where the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States reviews foreign investments for national security risks, the EU had no comparable mechanism at the time. This absence of a unified European approach left Germany exposed and highlighted the need for greater coordination on issues of strategic industrial policy. The Midea KUKA deal exposed the vulnerabilities of a globalized world where economic liberalism could sometimes clash with national interests, particularly in the face of China's assertive rise as a technological power. Section 5, 2016, a pivotal year for global robotics. The year 2016 marked a significant moment in the global robotics field. The acquisition of KUKA by Midea, completed in December of that year, signaled a shift in the balance of power. It demonstrated China's willingness to use its financial resources to acquire advanced technology, even in the face of political sensitivities. For Germany, the deal served as a wake-up call. It exposed the potential risks of its open investment environment and highlighted the need to safeguard its technological edge. The deal also had significant implications for the European Union as a whole. It raised questions about the EU's ability to compete with China in strategically important sectors and the need for greater coordination on investment screening and industrial policy. The Midea KUKA acquisition was more than just a corporate takeover. It was a geopolitical event that underscored the challenges and opportunities presented by China's rise as a technological powerhouse. It forced a reassessment of traditional approaches to globalization and highlighted the need for new strategies to address a world where economic interests were increasingly intertwined with national security concerns. Section 6: Alarm Bells and Policy Responses. The Midea KUKA deal set off alarm bells in Germany and across the European Union. Policymakers, industry leaders and analysts began to address the implications of China's growing technological prowess. There was a growing recognition that the EU needed to develop a more strategic approach to foreign investment, particularly in sectors deemed critical to its economic competitiveness and security. In Germany, the government responded by tightening its foreign investment screening rules. The German government lowered the threshold for reviewing foreign investments in critical infrastructure, including robotics, from 25% to 10%. This move was designed to give authorities greater power to block deals deemed detrimental to national interests. At the EU level, the Midea KUKA case provided further impetus for the establishment of a block-wide investment screening mechanism. In 2019, the EU adopted the regulation on foreign direct investment screening, which came into force in 2020. This regulation allows the European Commission to scrutinize foreign investments in critical sectors and issue opinions on potential risks. Section 7: KUKA Post-Acquisition: A New Era. Following its acquisition by Midea, KUKA began a new chapter in its long history. The company kept its headquarters in Germany and continued to operate as a separate entity. Midea, for its part, promised to respect KUKA's operational independence and to invest in its future growth. However, the acquisition inevitably brought about changes. KUKA's access to the Chinese market expanded significantly, offering new growth opportunities. Midea's vast manufacturing capabilities and distribution networks provided KUKA with a competitive advantage in certain areas. However, concerns about potential technology transfer and the protection of intellectual property lingered. The deal also raised questions about the long-term impact on KUKA's workforce and its research and development activities in Germany. The acquisition of KUKA by Midea remains a subject of debate. While it undoubtedly benefited both companies in some respects, it also highlighted the complex challenges of a world where economic globalization intersects with geopolitical competition. Section 8: The Future of Technological Sovereignty. The Midea KUKA deal highlighted the concept of technological sovereignty. This idea, gaining traction in Europe and elsewhere, emphasizes the importance of nations and regions maintaining control over critical technologies. It reflects a growing awareness that technological leadership is not just about economic competitiveness, but also about national security, political autonomy, and the ability to shape the rules of the global order. In a world increasingly defined by technological advances, from artificial intelligence to quantum computing, the ability to develop, control and deploy these technologies is seen as paramount. The EU, with its newly established investment screening mechanism and its focus on fostering innovation, is taking steps to bolster its technological sovereignty. However, challenges remain. The EU's internal market, while a source of strength, can also create vulnerabilities if member states are not aligned on strategic issues like foreign investment screening. The bloc needs to find ways to balance its commitment to open markets with the need to protect its strategic interests in a world where the lines between economic competition and geopolitical rivalry are becoming increasingly blurred. Section 9: Lessons Learned: Protecting Europe's Technological Edge. The acquisition of KUKA AG by Midea Group in 2016 serves as a cautionary tale for Europe. It revealed the vulnerabilities of a globalized world where economic liberalism can sometimes clash with national and regional interests. The deal underscored the importance of safeguarding technological leadership, not just for economic competitiveness, but also for strategic autonomy in an increasingly complex geopolitical environment. Germany and the EU as a whole learned valuable lessons from the KUKA experience. It spurred the development of more robust investment screening mechanisms to protect critical technologies and infrastructure, it also prompted a broader discussion about the need for a more strategic approach to industrial policy, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of economic strength and geopolitical influence. The challenge for Europe is to strike a balance between openness and protectionism. The EU thrives on its open markets and its ability to attract foreign investment. However, it must also be willing to defend its strategic interests and to ensure that its technological edge is not eroded by short-term economic considerations. The lessons learned from the QCAR deal continue to shape Europe's approach to technological sovereignty, reminding policymakers and industry leaders that in a world of fierce global competition, safeguarding innovation is not just about economics, but about securing a prosperous and secure future. For more historical awareness stories like this, please like, share, and subscribe.